Question my integrity, brother. We live, G.
We live. Curtis Pierre's calling. Hey, Curtis. Hey, Curtis. Curtis. Bro, we're going on live on WBOK right now in like 30 seconds, my brother. We have to call you at 9 o'clock when we get off the radio.
Sounds good.
All right, shalom. We'll be on at 8 o'clock. Check us out. Shalom. Yes, yes. Yeah. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, family.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being.
All praises.
We are your humble servant and host for the night. I am Kayel,
I'm Yuan.
and we are too pleased and too blessed to be here and give you guys this word for the night, this truth for the night. We are going to get into some really serious topics this evening. As you guys know, as you've been tuning in with us, we try to keep it light, happy, and all about love throughout all of our broadcasts, except when it comes to Wednesday nights and we get into cultural appropriation. Love and not standing up for yourself is not the same thing. That's not love of thyself. That's not love of thy culture. That's not love at all. Standing up for yourself is love. We got so many checking in on our Facebook. Hey, Cicely, it's a pleasure seeing you. So what we are doing tonight is we're discussing cultural appropriation in so many levels. Cultural appropriation isn't just a fancy two words that's put together to describe an entire destruction of a community. It is, but it's much more than that. Okay?
Yes.
Cultural appropriation is not just when it comes to a community, it's an individual. It's a belief system. It's a bloodline. It's the essence of someone. When we talk about cultural appropriation, that's what we're talking about. And tonight, we're going to go not just from scriptures, but we got a lot of good scriptures for you tonight. But we're about to get into cloning. We're going to discuss this new age of cultural appropriation. See, we're fighting. We sit up here and talk to you guys about the cultural appropriation that's happening within our community through our tribes of the Black masking community here. But cultural appropriation is much higher than just our celebrations of Carnival that's being taken, or our sound or our rhythm that's being taken. No, actual human beings are being taken. And it's been happening for a while. And it's not just cloning from the aspect of some sci-fi movie, right? Where they pick you up, it's a pod, and they recreate you, and some spaceship comes down. That's right. That's not the cloning we're talking about. We're talking about real life cloning that's been happening since the 50s, if not earlier, okay? Proven scientifically. We have seen many reports in the news about animals being cloned. They don't speak much about the human thing, right? So we're not going to get too much because we're going to cover that. So we're going to deal with cloning as far as it goes, as that being a part of cultural appropriation. We're going to deal with the cultural appropriation that happens from within our community, meaning our own people that sell us out, so to speak, for the dollar to, so to speak, come back and help the community. You know, that whole little chasing your tail, thing, right? We're also going to get into the whole scientific or the how can I say the metaphysical, right? We're gonna get into metaphysical tonight as well. So I hope you guys are ready. We are so happy to be back on WBOK live, baby, on the radio.
Yes.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
We were so blessed to be able to go to Say Red Studios on our last episode.
Shout out
Big
to
shout out to Cajun
Shout out
Fire
Sam,
Brewery
yes.
Company in New Orleans, man. Cajun Fire Brewery. And speaking of that, we have several sponsors tonight that I have to get to. We've been blessed so much. We've been away from the radio, but in that time frame, we've come across some serious people that have been following the show. When you're on the radio, man, you don't really know how many people are getting the signal. You don't really know how people are feeling sometimes. You don't know. You just don't know, right?
That's right.
But as we've been off and people have been trying to scramble to find out which platforms we're on, they've been also letting us know that, hey, we really want to get more in depth. And I'm like, more in depth? I'm like, how? Well, we want a sponsor. We want to be, we want commercials on the show. Like, man, I hadn't been a thought. But anyway, let me get to it. It's a blessing. So first, Good For Me products. Oh my goodness. Good For Me lifestyle. Can you give us the information?
Ooh. Yes. Oh yes. Oh, great.
Make music. Yes. Yes. So let me also tell you guys, because we got to make sure that our people on Facebook can hear you because we ain't got no headphones going on here. I'm just realizing that we are missing a very important aspect to the people hearing you, my brother, so that you can be heard. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here we go. Let me get that situated. So not only do we have Good For Me as a sponsor tonight, we also have Vera and the community bookstore on Bayou Road. We definitely want you guys to get into your books. Obviously we like books, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
yes,
make sure you get to your books, you know what I'm saying? So go to Vera Bookstore on Bayou Road. We also have Phase 3 Body Shop right there in Holly Grove. You know the building is, I believe, on Irato. So make sure you go there. Also, we got Miss Artist 28 on Instagram. And, of course, we already stated Cajun Fire Brewery. And, of course, blackmasking.org. Our sponsors, everyone for the evening. Okay, now we got that out the way. Let's get to our first script for the night. Okay? Because, like I said, we're going to be dealing with several topics tonight. We are dealing with big shouts out to Big Chief Daryl Montana in the building. I'm talking about Yellow Pocahontas is checking in. Oh, I'm going to feel so honored. Yes, Yellow Pocahontas. I mean, Big Chief. Always going to be the chief. Yes. All praises for that, my brother. Thank you. And Big Chief Black, as usual, is in the building. Ariane, yes, Chantel, yes, we got everybody in. So what we're talking about tonight is what we're saying cultural appropriation, right? We're dealing with not only cultural appropriation happening within our community through our Black masculine tribes, through our steppers, through our second line, through our social aid and pleasure clubs, but on a bigger level, on cloning level, on actually being able to take a human being's DNA and recreate an entire human being. This is the day and age that we're in. We're in gene splicing, we're in cloning, and these things were stated in scripture. It goes back to the days of Noah. This is not a, I don't want anybody to think that we are in any form of fashion trying to create some type of hysteria. We're only, thank you. It's just new to you. So to deal with cultural appropriation, because everything here is about answers. We're not just going to present the problem and then talk and cry and moan about it. You can go to many. That's all you have on TV, internet. That's what it is today. Here we whip out answers, right? So these scriptures that we're going to read are going to be answers to what is going on with our cultural appropriation. It's not another mystery that we're giving you. We're going to use the scriptures to give you the answer on how to control, how to bring your community back together, baby. Right. So we're going to start with Psalms 133, right? And it says, and as we all know, Psalms are written by David. Yes. All right, which we are all of the lineage of. So it says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like a precious ointment upon the head that rained down upon thy beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garment. That's Psalms 133, 1 through 2, right? Now, what is that saying? It is saying that there is nothing better in this world, not jewelry, not cars, not video games. There is nothing better than when brethren get together in love, when brethren get together on the same accord. That's right. All of these big chiefs that's checking in, as we got a quote from Big Chief Montana, as he said, in order to be a big chief, your tribe has to be pushing and pumping on all 8 cylinders. It doesn't happen any other way. But that's the beauty. When all 8 cylinders are going, there is nothing better in this world. We all see these movies like Remember the Titans, right? Yeah. And everybody got emotional when a football team came out dancing together, right? That's the synchronicity. That's the brotherhood. You can recognize it no matter what you are. You recognize brotherhood when you see it. You recognize men that are on one accord, how powerful that is. When we go back to Malcolm X, when the part in the movie when he holds his hands up in front of the police station and he tells all of the guys to go and they all move in accord, in one accord. That's right. That is what the Most High has given us. Nobody can appropriate that. When brethren are together on one accord, that's women and men, our community, when we are together in one accord, it can't be appropriated, it can't be cloned, it can't even be disintegrated. Yeah. What happens when men aren't together? True. I think we see that every day. I think we got. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Nothing like it. If we don't have one love, like we always hear that, one love, everybody speaks to each other, brethren. We can't just say these things no more. It's over. It's over. If you got to wait to figure out when you're going to start reaching out to your brethren, your cousin, your sister, your mama, or anybody that you got issues with, the time is over. We're on catch up right now. Most of us have sold so much hurt, pain, and destruction in other people's lives in our efforts to assimilate into this European culture of this I mentality that I gotta get it. We've left so many bodies on our highways. That's what I mean by we at catch up mode. You don't have time to wait till next week or to next month to get it right with your people. Because while you are separated from your people, somebody's learning your people. Someone's trying to figure out how to replace you people because they have a better way for you to get along if you're civilized. Mm-hmm. What? Say that again?
That's right.
Unity.
That's right. That's right.
Unity. We're at our 15-minute mark. So since we're on the radio, we're going to get back to our format. We're going to do a song right now. And when we come back, I believe we have Galatians next that my brother Oba is going to go into. And that's going to be a precept for us to understand karma. What you sow is what you reap. You can dodge it as much as you want to. You can try to prolong it as much as you want to. Or you can even lie to yourself and say that you sowed the right type of seeds. But in actuality, you sowed very selfish seeds that the only thing at the end of your sowing that you were interested in was your gain. Not how it affected everybody else, but how it affected your bottom line. There's an old African proverb that says, what a tangled web we weave when we first aspire to deceive. That means that whenever your plan is started in deception, when you start with the intention and the mind state of F everybody else, I got to get mine, that's what you're going to get in return. Now, you may achieve your goal and you may get the money, but the carnage that you're going to leave on that pathway to it, is it really worth it? What you got for us to play, my brother Oba? Yes. Yes, Mally, man. Mally Music. Check the brother out. Won't forget, this is off of his new LP. And this is one of our favorite songs. It's basically stating, we will not forget what the Most High has done for us. We will not forget all the sacrifices that were done, not just for his only begotten son, but allowing us to continue out this process that we can turn around and get our salvation.
Let's get it. Say lie.
Say lie.
So he got Galatians. Yeah. 1 Corinthians or
no, but that's not the order that's not the order it came in.
Oh.
Yeah, Galatians, Romans, Thessalonians, there's another one that's in between. Where pull up the message that you received that gave us the
yeah, I got mine.
Pull up the message that she sent, listed all of them.
Yeah. Oh, Romans 12.
So we did, Galatians. So you're gonna do Romans.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Corinthians, and but
Thessalonians. I think Thessalonians is the one that talks about the reaping and sowing, I believe.
Well, actually, I want you to look at those two, and actually, you may need to do Thessalonians. It's a little bit easier to read. Do Thessalonians and get that verse. I said, I'm glad y'all checking in. Yeah, mighty way I for
and we beseech
what you've done
to know them which labor among you.
What you've done for my people. I don't forget what you've done for me.
And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord admonish you. And to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves.
Can you guys hear the music on the headphones? Just want to make sure y'all hearing the music good. Let me know.
Are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak. Bet. Bet.
Hey, Monique. I see you in the building, Nick. Not sure, bro. Coming back soon. Oh. Thank you, Miss Artist. Sharonda.
Okay.
I.
For
Alsetwa. Yes, Alsetwa is checking in. Oh,
all
praises.
praises.
Oh, Alsetwa. We so happy to have you in the building, baby.
All praises. I won't forget what you've done.
Tyler said you're the building, my brother. I said, Tyler. Vanessa, I'm glad you checking in from Portland. Miss Maria, I don't know how to pronounce that, Alea. We got 1 minute before we come back, guys. What's up, Makia? I see you in the building. What's up, Eugene, my cuz? Yes. A Theo in the building. What's up, Theo? See Mercy Miller in the building. I'm messing with you. Blanche Noel. Eric Sanders, my brother Ice. Ella Sheba. We coming back in, guys. You you got the
Thessalonians.
Galatians. I'm trying to think. What was that definition? What was that
Schism.
definition for in Galatians?
What, schism?
Yeah. Nah, that's in the Corinthians.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Shalom. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are the Hebrew state of being, and this is Wednesday night cultural appropriation, tribal talk. And what we mean by tribe, the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yes.
Tribal. All of us here are descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, renamed Israel. Yes.
Yes.
All of us. And we should rejoice in that. So,
Blessing.
before we left off, we were discussing cloning. So I want to give you guys a definition of cloning, right? It is to propagate an organism or cell in hundreds of new plants cloned. The best ones are selected. That's the Miriam. I didn't even go back to the Noah Webster on it, right? Which I'm probably gonna, go to the Noah Webster on here and give y'all his actual definition of cloning. But I want you to get the part of propagating of GMOs. I'm gonna also give you the definition of GMO, which means genetically modified organism. That's what GMO means. In the result of a laboratory process where genes from the DNA of one species are extracted and artificially forced into the genes of an unrelated plant or animal, the foreign gene may come from bacteria, viruses, insects, animals, or even humans. Now, if you think we're joking about cloning and we're being a little absurd with the concept that we're throwing out, that appropriation in today's format, we are still fighting the two-dimensional aspect of it, right? Caucasians being inside of our black masking suits, steppers and social aid and pleasure clubs being duplicated and replicated by Caucasians. We think that that's a two-dimensional fight. When we get to the three-dimensional fight, we're talking about GMOs. We're talking about cloning. Now, in the cloning definition, they, how can I say this? By mistake or just didn't happen to put in the fact that humans were part of cloning. They said propagating DNA genes from plants. Like cloning you can't do that with humans. Like humans aren't plant-based.
Right.
If you didn't know, we are all plant-based humans. Human beings are plant-based. I know we eat a lot of meat, but guess what? We are plant-based. Okay?
Yes. Yes,
So
we are.
when they say cloning and they're talking about plants, you can insert your name in there as well. And then now when we go to GMO, when we're thinking that we're talking about food now, they actually slide the human part in right underneath at the end.
Mm.
I want y'all to see how these definitions play on things to try and confuse you. When we went to the definition of cloning, right, which we all know from news, cloning has been about sheep being cloned, humans being cloned. But when you go to it, they say it is a propagate an organism or cell as a clone. Propagate means to copy. And out of 100 new plants cloned, the best ones are selected. Biochemistry, replicate a fragment of DNA placed in an organism so that there is enough to analyze or use in protein production. One may look at that definition and not get at all that cloning means that they can duplicate a human being, an animal, that they can play God. I was trying to wait till we got at least through the first 15 minutes before I say they were trying to play God. But ding, ding, ding.
That's it.
We here, baby.
Mm.
Appropriation. So we just showed you these human beings are not only trying to appropriate your culture in what we do in our rituals every year, not only are they trying to clone and replicate your entire body, but they want to take the most highest place and create that. But then they're not really creating. They're doubling or they're copying, but yet they want the credit for creating.
That's not cultural appropriation. I don't know what is.
I mean, we're talking appropriation at the highest level right now, right?
That's right.
We're talking appropriation at the highest level. Two-dimensional, what we see directly in front of us. We see that our culture in this city makes $900 million a year off of the process of our Indians and the culture that was here prior to colonialism. Then we look at cloning also as cultural appropriation because culture is the essence of something. So the human being is an essence of that culture. So with a cloning of human beings, plants, and animals, now in that process of cloning us, they are playing the Most High.
That's right.
But yet, just like with the definition of cloning that doesn't put a human being's name in it, they don't say they're trying to be God. They just say they're trying to improve on the Most High's design.
As if he made a mistake.
As if he made a mistake, Yawan.
Mm.
Now, we don't want to take into account that we eat the wrong foods, that we pollute the air and the water, and that our bodies are a representation. The cancer that we have in our bodies is a representation of the cloning and degraded foods that he did not put here.
That's right.
But yet, you want to say that you want to improve upon him, on the thing that he created when you destroyed it. I want y'all to catch this, man.
That's right. Bring it out, brother. Bring it out.
Let's go into Galatians, my brother, please.
Galatians 6, 6 through 10. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
household of faith. Basically, the Most High is saying, out of all these things, know that what you put out, you'll get back. Know that you can't play a joke on God. Like you're not gonna like trick God, right? You're not gonna trick the Most High.
That's right, man.
He put karma in place for that. So whoever you want to lie to, I know my father used to say that to me all the time when I came in or I did something wrong. He said, but I don't know who you lying to. Because I know the story. I know what time I told you to be here.
Right.
I know I gave you a car that can get you to and fro
Right.
and make you get here back on time. So I don't know who you lying to. I used to look at him and puzzle. What you mean by that, man? I'm not lying. Yeah, I'm lying. Right? So,
You got caught in that, man.
right, got caught in the act of that, right? So karma is there. As we stated Wednesday, we stated on Monday night, you can't outdo this, right? You can't run past your lie. You cannot fake it to yourself. You know, karma is real. What you sow is what you shall reap. No doubt about it. So when we read in Galatians, that's what it talks about. It says, look, you are supposed to be happy with your brethren. Your brethren aren't people that look like you. Let's get out of this race thing. Your brethren are the ones that think like you. Your brethren are the ones that have the same bright eye as you.
That's right.
Your sisters are the ones that follow the 10 Commandments. Get away from the European society that you are plagued by, that we are plagued by, the mentality rather that we are plagued by.
That's right.
We can only change our minds. Our minds then will change our bodies, will then change our thoughts, then will change the things that we receive as a result of our work. We're not trying to beat anybody into anything, and I hope it doesn't sound like that tonight. But I definitely want you guys to be clear that the way cultural appropriation happens is one by us not loving each other as our community. That's the first. Nobody can come into our community or into any community, not just ours, in any community that's together. As the brother Oba stated, they only can conquer a divided people. It's the only time.
That's right.
And we read in Galatians that it is the best thing for us to be together than to be with brothers. And that if you step outside of that, you're not lying to the Most High. You're not getting over on your brothers. Your brothers may not see when your downfall comes, but your downfall is going to come.
Oh, yeah.
You can have that big old $1 million mansion and be lonely. You can have that Benz souped up on 20s and not one girl give you a phone number.
That's true. Indeed.
Yeah.
Different ways you can be cursed. It doesn't necessarily have to be painful, but it's going to be painful, whether it could be emotionally or physically. It's going to be
Physically.
painful.
Don't look at, just because you think the only thing you need in life is a nice car. The person that has a nice car, believe me, they got something else that they think that they need in life to complete themselves.
That's right.
That's why we should never have envy. That's why it's one of the commandments is for us never to envy your brother. You don't know what your brother's going through.
That's right.
You don't know what your sister's going through. It may look all pretty from the outside, but the core can be rotten as I don't know what. When you are thankful and appreciative of what the Most High has given you, and you want to give that to others, because the Most High gives you love, grace, and mercy. You want to give that to your brethren. You want to deal with your brethren in the way that the Most High deals with you. When your brother's out of line, you show love. When your girlfriend, your sister, your wife is out of line, you return it with love. And you let that love work on them. Don't, when they cursing you out and they saying you all the things you did wrong, and you turn around and say, look, I understand, sister. I understand, my brother. And I hope to get better. And I hope that this situation shows that I didn't do you wrong and there was no malice to what I'm doing or what I've done. And I pray that the Most High puts it in your heart to understand or forgive or see my side. And you leave it at that. You don't call them 5 minutes later and say, "You forgave me yet?" You don't call back 30 minutes later. You had some time.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it was just the last piece of cake. I mean, it wasn't like I kicked you. You know what I'm saying? I just ate the last piece of cake. Can you just get over it? No. You got to let that go. The only way we can deal with each other out of love, man, is to approach it with love, deal with it in love, and walk away with it in love, and allow that love to come back.
Right.
That's the only way. If that person that you're dealing with doesn't deserve love, then they just bought the end of your friendship with them. No one is saying that you have to kick it with somebody. You have to be, because we black, we got to kick it. Nah. I don't like it. Ain't got nothing in common with you. Don't want to see you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Ain't no point.
We just said what a brother and a sister is. People are like-minded as brothers and sisters.
That's right.
That people are trying, that's going to keep us in line. That's going to be trustworthy people to build with. The only reason why we're on this earth is to build our communities, to build us, to build our faith, to build our love in the Most High, to build our community in love. That's what we're here for. If you want to go back to Genesis and what job that the Most High gave Adam in the garden, he was to dress and to hold the garden. Dress means to keep it, to keep it neat and in order, and to hold is to defend it with everything in him. You are the garden. You are the temple. Your body is that. You got to protect that with love, with positivity, and giving your issues to the Most High. If you let your flesh deal with your fleshly issues, you will receive fleshly answers. Guaranteed. As they say, facts. If you feel like you've been wrong and you want to get in that water so that that person can feel just as wrong as you feel, then you are already lost. You've lost the friendship, you've lost your humanity, you've lost your caring, and you lost your desire to see this end in a way that the Most High will be pleased with. You've already lost. We're going to go to Romans. Actually, we're going to go into our next song, and then we're going to go into Romans, and then we have Thessalonians, and then we got Corinthians afterwards. Y'all going to love this because this next one in Romans really kind of speaks to how we deal with each other. Because like I said, this show is about answers. So up until this point, we've established that tonight is about cultural appropriation, and we chose cloning, and we chose GMO as a title for this evening as an aspect of cultural appropriation, because it is actually appropriating who we are as human beings and what the Most High has created, and they're duplicating it in several forms and fashions, and they tell you it's for your own good, just like they told you Planned Parenthood was for your own good, but Planned Parenthood was started out of eugenics, out of population control. Just because somebody puts a lipstick on that pig does not stop it from being an abomination, fat-eating piece of trash.
That's right.
And that's what it is. So what you got for us? What's our next song, my brother Oba?
Our next song is Little Peace.
Is that P.O.P.? Would that be precept upon precept? Jerusi. Let's go with Jerusi. I love Jerusi.
Jerusi.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Y'all want to know where we come from? Y'all want to know what we talking about? This song right here tells you where we got our lessons from. This tells you who we celebrating, what's in our heart. Let's hear that, man. Peasy, we love Real Judah. Go check out his music at realjudah.com. Peasy out of Dallas. And also Hebrew Hood music, also out of Texas with Shad. So you guys, please check out these artists, man. Let me get to this. You got Romans, right?
Yeah.
No, which one you read?
I had
Romans?
Thessalonians.
You got Thessalonians, right? I got Romans. I come from Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
I come from Jerusalem. Yes, Jerusalem. I come from Jerusalem.
Hey,
I come from
hey, hey.
Jerusalem. I come from Jerusalem.
I
I
come
come
from
from Jerusalem. Oh, which one
Jerusalem.
was it? It was Romans what?
Romans chapter, I think it was 12. Let me see, make sure. Romans chapter, yeah, chapter 12, verse 4 to 10.
No, man, that's not
Well, that's the one with
the
the
office.
schism. You said
Yeah.
that was Quran, First Corinthians. That's right.
Right, this is Romans. So
Romans.
yeah, this should be 14 will give me blessed will persecute and blessed not curse. Right. This is the one. Romans, wait, 7, right? You say Romans 7, right?
Romans
4 to
12.
Romans 12. Yeah.
Romans 4 to 10.
Yeah. So we bring many Christ. Remember another and then gives. And see, straight to the hammer. What's up, Roderick? In the building. What's up, Dewana? Yeah.
Yes.
In the banner. Hammer. Hammer. Every story. This.
That's right.
Said the 14.
What's my
You said 4 to what?
4 to 10.
14.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, working. You got that salon, you're working on that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I got one
Thumbs
of
up.
them.
Yeah. 100. You like that 100, huh? Yes. Oh, what's up, Holly in the building? Yes. Glad y'all checking in. We got a great show, man. A little bit more go. All right, Kena. Big up. Another. There we go. Clone. Again. Amen. All right. Ruthie.
I come from Jerusalem.
Having a little problem with this juice for this phone. What time we got? 44, 15 minutes. Huh?
The
Yeah, I'm
first
gonna do
one,
Corinthians. He's about to do.
Thessalonians.
I'm about to do Romans, and then from there. But I'm trying to get this phone is really. I need.
See the.
Mm.
Maybe it'll hold it up. Nope.
No, I'm gonna go like this for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are in the building dealing with cultural appropriation, dealing with really just explaining how deep the rabbit hole goes. You know, a lot of people aren't interested in seeing how deep the rabbit hole goes. You know, it's not an interest for them. They rather just deal with life as it is. You know, they rather just deal with you know, I got dinner for the night. You know, I'm going out to the club. Or go to the movies. I'm really looking forward to date night. Friday night, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, but don't ask the question of why our community can never get to where it needs to go. Don't join in on the conversations about what's wrong with the community, or why we can't ever get our stuff together, why black people can't do this. It's okay to not want to go down that rabbit hole, but just don't get into the conversation and give those 2 cents about how the best way to save the community.
That's right.
If you're not reading scriptures and having a spiritual basis to your approach to helping our culture, improving our culture, then you're just reinventing the wheel of pain.
That's right.
Without spirit, there is nothing. Without spirit, there is nothing. Without a soul, there is nothing. It is told to us in scripture that the devil cannot create anything. We all heard that as kids, right?
That's right.
The devil can't create. So who's cloning?
If it's not the Most High, then whom?
Who's interested in looking at cultures, describing that culture, categorizing that culture? Smithsonian is what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's just go there, right? Smithsonian, right? Eugenics, we're talking about the chronicling of cultures as though they're putting together an intergalactic library of species. Real talk, right? Look at what the Smithsonian has done. The Smithsonian has the largest historical collections of everything. Writings, human mummy bodies. The square footage of the Smithsonian itself is remarkable. I think it's bigger than the Pentagon. Really. The Smithsonian is larger than Pentagon. All right. So what is there a Smithsonian? Can you walk in and go to any room of the Smithsonian? No, you can't. Can you access all the information in the Smithsonian? No, you can't. Who logs and tags all of this information? You'll never know. The true history of your people is in the Smithsonian. We're about to introduce to you guys tonight the Book of Icons. Look up Russian icons. Extremely important. Russian icons, 13th century. That will give you every picture of Yahushua, which you know as Jesus, Moshe, which you know as Moses, Yachanan, which you know as John the Baptist, Jeremiah, as you know as Jeremiah. You can find all of them painted in their original color, black.
Hmm. Hmm.
The Smithsonian is bigger than 18 football fields. Wow.
Hmm.
All appropriated. Rated the mounds. The Ten Commandments, the Decalogues. Mm-hmm. The dark aboriginals of this land had in their possession all went to Smithsonian. We are very, and I want to give shouts out to Big Chief Damon Malonson. Big Chief Damon Malonson. And also, I believe Big Chief Dal Montana also went to Princeton University and took a giant smack at Smithsonian and did not allow this culture to go in as Mardi Gras Indians, but to go in as black masking Indians. I don't know if y'all don't know how big that is. When we stand up for our community and our culture, everyone's gonna accept it.
That's right.
Because they know it's the truth. We're not creating a story. And I feel sorry for any of you people out there that think that us having this show saying that we're Hebrews, that we're making this up, that we don't know what we're talking about, that we have been painstakingly studied. Books upon books, scriptures upon scriptures. A Hebrew slogan is study and know thyself approved. Study and know thyself approved. That's the slogan of a Hebrew. When we talk about cultural appropriation and we're dealing with our city government and businesses, create it and call it Cajun, call it Arcadiana, call it all of these different names, but black.
Appreciate that.
They will give you indigenous names mixed with French names and then tell you that that's a whole nother community. When 4 people come into a community of 20, it does not mean that that community is now equal between the two. It means that we had some people that were brought into our community and that was, what's the word that we're going to do for Black History Month? The indigenous, absorbed. That means that the Indian tribe absorbed some French. They absorbed some Africans that came in slavery. They absorbed some slaves. It didn't make them something different. Only the people that needed to make us something different to change so that we would know who we were as a people.
That's right.
These scholastic people, these educated people decided that you needed a name to represent your absorption of the other cultures in the midst of your oppression of being removed from your lands and the Indian Removal Act as well. As well as the Trail of Tears, as well as Civil War, as well as the Jim Crow era. Y'all gotta forgive me sometimes. Wednesday nights is the night that we let the little beast out a little bit, because we're humble.
Right.
Being a Hebrew is humble and loving the Lord, and having Him be our soldier, and not us. Um, we're gonna go to Romans. Speaking of that, Most High is telling me to get up off of it. So we're going to Romans chapter 7, verse 4 to 10. This is Israel. This is going to tell us how we deal with each other,
That's right.
how we work with each other. Chapter 12. Yes, it's chapter 12, verses 4 through 10. You're not that loud in the mic either, my brother. Okay. Here we go. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we bring many are one, so we being many are one body in Christ, and every one member one of another. Basically saying that we are, as Hebrews, as black people, as people, period. There's many of us, creed, colors, period. Right? So it's saying that as we are one body under the Most High. We started the show off by stating that my brother and my sister is a person that has a like mind, like heart, and like light of their eye. So that's what this says here. It says that even though we are all together and we are many, we are all one under the Most High. And having then gifts different according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecies, let us prophesy according to the portion of our faith, or ministry. Let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave unto which is good. Wow. What that says is that we are different. New Orleans, NOLA, tribal NOLA, we different from uptown to downtown, from back of town to cross town. We all different. Across the bayou, the river parishes, we all different. But under the Most High, we can all agree because we're given the 10 principles. We're given the 10 commandments. If we can all agree to love the Most High more than we love ourselves, there's nothing we can't achieve. There's nothing that the body can't do in order. There's nothing they can't do. But when we are not, when we don't wait on our ministry, right? When we don't wait on our teaching, when we don't wait on the prophecies and we want to let that man come out of us, right? You may not have the answer, but somebody's asking. You want to impress. You want to keep your position. You think you'd have told everybody that you speak in prophecies. So now you got to one up. Vanity is one of my favorite songs by Sons of Light, right? Do not allow your vanity of where you would like to hold yourself in your own esteem make you go outside of what the Most High has given you. And if anybody that you're speaking to about the Most High and about these scripts, if they can't give you a second to collect yourself and get the proper order in what you want to say, then they're not listening to you anyway. Take your time and don't overstep yourself when you're walking in this walk. Don't overstep yourself as a representative of your community. Don't overstep yourself in any form or fashion. Be humble and allow the Most High to glorify you. Because if you're glorifying Him, He will glorify you. We got enough big dogs. Our big dog is the Most High.
Yes, indeed.
Yahweh.
Hashem,
Hawa.
Yes.
What you know about that 432 drop in Dallas? Hawa.
Let's get it.
When you understand the Hebrew language, right? We strong, Israel. We wrapping up. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight. We got one more reading I want to get to before we go. Let me get that Thessalonians right quick, my brother. Yawan.
This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12 through 15, and it reads, "And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the Lord Yahweh, and admonish you. And they esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men. See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men."
That gives us the order and how we should deal with each other that act rowdy and the people that don't exude the love and the calm and the patience of the Most High.
That's right.
I want y'all to read that tonight for yourselves, man. That Thessalonians, it is how we deal with our brethren that we feel are uncontrollable. And we can't get through to them. We can't reason with them. You know, the ones that we say can't get right.
That's right.
What did we just read? Thessalonians
Chapter 5,
chapter 5,
verse 12 through 15.
verse 12 through 15. Hold on, Israel. We're going to stay on Facebook a little bit longer, but for our WBOK, we love you.
Say la.
Shalom. So, for our people out there on Facebook, man, we thank y'all for being a part tonight. We have one more script that if you want, please go into First Corinthians 12, 23 through 31, which really wraps up everything that we're saying tonight. It's saying, treat each brother with love. The Thessalonians, as we just read, that one is just really how to deal with our rowdy brothers. You got to show love. You got to be patient with us. You got to be patient with your girl. You got to be patient with your man. You got to be patient with your mom. You got to be patient with your children. Stop cursing those children out. We got to be prideful and regal. Israel, we are that. There's nothing more beautiful than us. Not even a peacock.
We just saw the world.
We love y'all, man. We will see y'all on Friday for Shabbat. You know we love Shabbat, man.
Favorite day of the day
Thank
of the
y'all
week.
for tuning in. Any
The
questions
day
you
of
guys
rest.
got? I'm glad, Miss Coleman. I'm glad that you checking in, Lashiva, everybody that was going in with us. Tonight we had a lot to get to, so we didn't get all our shouts out. But tune in, man, and we thank y'all, man. Again, it was a great show.
Yeah.
So, Shalom, we see y'all on Friday for Shabbat. Keep the Most High in your heart and keep your eye bright.
That pineal gland, baby.
Shalom.
No. Can we? Sure you want to stop? Yes.